Kaze Slayers, Crona's Feet here, and welcome back to another Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire battle. Today we are bringing our full-fledged OU Sinnoh victory team against our newly named rival Jamila, who is bringing a FairyTail theme team. So if you want to go and check her out, I recommend you do. Her channel will be linked down below, along with question of the day. Seriously, all you have to do is scroll down, click the show more if it's not there, and it's there. So come on. As well as if you like this kind of stuff, don't forget to show some love. I hate saying it, but anyway, into the battle here. They're going to lead off with a Charizard. So I'm going to lead off with Guardian now. I see this thing as a Mega, and I only have two checks for it. My Water Rotom Wash and my Tentacruel. So there's the Mega Evolution I predicted. As I go out into Tentacruel, this thing is a specially defensive Walls, and also the poison type thing means the Solar Beam should be neutral, so as it fires, it's not really going to be able to do too much to me. But I also got the Black Sludge on this thing, as I did beforehand. This thing's just going to be playing its Sludge, allowing it. Now, I know with Vanguardzilla, I can probably scare them out into something else. They actually go out into Gajeel here, the Metagross, so I'm going to use this to set up some Toxic Spikes. Now, anything that's going to come in isn't going to really like that. They're going to get Bubble Pop Toxic. Now, I see this thing is likely going to be a bit of a problem. I could see an Earthquake coming in on the poison type, so I decided to switch out here into Heat Proof. Now, the reason I decided to swap out into Heat Proof rather than kind of fooling them with the namesake is that this is actually the second battle we had. Unfortunately, on our first battle, the connection decided to cut out, and well, I'd already revealed about Heat Proof, so I actually had gone for the Earthquake, so they make a very good play here, swapping out back into Natsu. So now I go back out into my Rotom here, Voltaggeist, predicting them to not really go for the Solar Beam, predicting me to possibly stay in and hit them with a Gyro Ball, but that was a really good play, I think, on my part, as I'm able to absorb a Will-O-Wisp on a specially defensive wall, as they're going to now go back out into Gajeel to save that, probably expecting the Water-type move or the Electric move since it is Fire Flying. But I'm going to go for the Volt Switch, and you can just see there from the damage, this thing is Choice Spec'd. So it was probably a good idea I didn't stay out there. So I'm going to go into Flare here, my mixed set. And I was actually predicting them to swap out, predicting the Fire-type move, which was a bad play on my part. They go for the Bullet Punch, which really took me off guard. So I go for the U-turn. So, yeah, this thing survives. Not very good. Flare, you're supposed to knock it out. But, going back into Heat Proof now, I think I would have been able to take this out quite easily. They're going to go for the Power-Up Punch, which is their only super thing against Heat Proof here. Oh, no, wait. It's not super effective. So I thought this thing, they were going to swap out, predicting an Earthquake, so I go for the Gyro, and that is going to live on a sliver of health. Are you kidding me? Heat Proof, you had one job. So this thing is pretty much going to be able to go down to whatever I hit it with next. So they're going to go for the Meteor Mash. That's going to hit quite hard for a thing. They're going to get another attack raise. This thing is getting too much attack, but unfortunately it doesn't have enough health to survive an Earthquake, so one Earthquake is going to knock this thing out. Metagross is going to hit the ground. The X-Face, the X-Games, just been defeated by a giant bell thing. So, I know this, really, as they come into Natsu, there's nothing I really want to swap in. They're probably going to predict a swap, and I want to try and hit this thing for a, oh no. Must be later on in the battle. So now I'm predicting them to predict a swap, but they don't predict the swap, it seems. So they go for the Flamethrower. That's not going to be very effective. I'm predicting them to once again swap out here, but I can't actually remember what I do. I think I go for another round of Poison Spikes, I think, because they're going to go into Ursa here, which is quite good for them, because this thing obviously is a speed boost set. What else would you carry an OU? This is a speed boost, obviously based off the Japanese cloth transformation armor. So I'm going to start up my second round of Toxic right now. Nothing is going to enjoy coming in except that Charizard. So to fly. They reveal here the Thunder Punch. Now that is a big check, since they're going to actually get the Power Hacks. That is not cool. They've got the Shell Bell, they've got Poison, they've got Speed Boost, and as you'll see later, they have another move in it, so the Scald is going to hit pretty hard, but they're going to be able to survive that. Come in with another Thunder Punch. I managed to break through that Paralyze, which was quite good for me, but yeah, they have the Speed Boost. It means that this thing is quite a big threat, as nothing really on my team could outspeed them. Maybe at 1+1 my Infernape could, but here go the Flame Charge. That is going to up their speed to +2. They're going to get another Speed Boost at +3. This thing is dangerous as heckles, as you would expect from anything called ΩRAS. I mean, if any of you have watched FairyTail, you know what I'm talking about. Don't mess with ΩRAS's cake. You are going to bound to be sent through a ceiling. So I sent out Heat Proof, hoping I'd be able to possibly get off a Gyro Ball here. So they're going to go for the Flame Charge to super effectively hit, but it's a very weak move. But that damage from a weak move, that is insane. Now, I'm using these Speed Boosts to the advantage here, as I'll go for the Gyro Ball. That is going to mean a lot of difference in speed. Urza would not survive that, even if, well, maybe it would survive +1, but I very highly doubt it. So the Sunlight is going to fail in this time. Ah, that's why the Flame Charge did so much. The sun was up. Oh dear. So Natsu is going to come back out on Heat Proof now. I don't really want to swap anything in. Heat Proof here has more or less done its job. There's nothing else can really hit super effectively, but I decided to stay in with Heat Proof anyway, use them as dead fodder, go for a Gyro Ball, but a Dragon Pulse predicting a swap is going to knock out Heat Proof here. Unfortunately, the bell tones death. So I go out into Flare here, thinking again of possibly a swap. I think, I can't remember what I go for. I think I go for actually a close combat to try and hit this thing as hard as possible, but they're going to make a very good prediction here, swapping into Lucy Harpelia as I go for that close combat. That is going to do quite a bit from a Choice Scarf, but now the problem is I'm locked in, I have low defenses, this thing is here healing on a Leftovers, and it's poison, so the poison is luckily going to be able to do some damage, but I really don't want Flare going down. I feel like Flare is going to be a big game changer against their other Pokemon, so I decided to swap out into Voltagheist, get past that burn. Luckily, they go for the Attract. Now, I don't know if that was their hidden move on their Sylveon, but I was so lucky to swap out that. I wouldn't have seen Attract coming. So they're going to get hit with Poison. I'm going to hit with the Burns with just a couple of status effects out here, so I'm going to go for the Volt Switch, see if this can do anything. Those choice specs don't kill it, unfortunately, but I know that actually by the end of this turn, the racked up poison damage should be able to kill. So I'm going to go into Falcor here, predicting possibly another Attract or something. Just go in here, because there's nothing else I'm going to swap in. They're going to go for the Moonblast. So, ouch. Falcor's taken down to 40. The poison is going to rack up and take them out this turn, luckily. Now, what was this? Send in, I believe they next go into Lucario. Yep, Grey. So Grey's going to come through the Lucario. This thing, I thought I could possibly try and hit it for a close combat. No, extreme speed. All I want to do is use this Falcor. I came up here to have a good time, but there's no good time. So we're now down to 2 each, as I'll go into Flare here. They're going to withdraw. Oh no, they're on. Is it 2-3 at this point? Yeah, it's got to be 2-3. Is it? I can't remember at this point in the match. You guys could have probably counted. So they're going to bring in Juvia here, which is quite annoying for me. This thing is a defensive, especially defensive wall, I believe. And it's also a good defensive wall. So Poison is going to go up. I don't really want to stay in this thing just in case it goes for a Scald. So I'm going to swap out into Guardian here. Yes, it's 3 each. So, was that a car? Yeah. There's a car outside. I hope you guys didn't hear that. So I'm going to swap with Guardians. They're going to use this as a perfect prediction opportunity to set up that Water Veil. So GG there. Shouldn't just woke up. So Poison is going to do its damage. They're now going to start up the Scald. As you know from my last battle, this Guardian is highly defensive. +6 Hadja Slash. This Guardian is super defensive. So I'll decide to set up the Calm Mines here. hoping that means they won't be able to do too much to me through anything. I don't really see how they'd be able to, but they're just going to use these turns to get heal off the Aqua Ring. However, I know that I could be probably able to stall them out with the rest, but that second score, it's a crit! A critical hit! I was predicting I would be able to actually keep them at bay there by stalling them out with the rest set. Well, that poison damage does more than the waterfall. So I'm going to go back out into Voltagast. I know I can easily outspeed. Now they've only got the Charizard and the Lucario left, and I probably want to try and hit that thing as hard as possible with my Infernape rather than with my blocking in with my Rotom because of that Lucario. So I decided to actually swap out here using Volt Switch, knocks him out, go into Flare. They actually go into Grey now. They could have probably gone into Charizard and changed the outcome of this match, but thanks to that, my close combat is going to be faster. They could have gone for extreme speed, but I doubt that would have fainted. Close combat is going to come through. It is going to knock out the Lucario due to its further defenses. Grey, put your shirt back on. You're down. You're gone. Please have some respect for the battlefield. So Natsu comes out. Natsu is their final here. Now, I only have the close combat. I'm locked into it. My last two is a Choice Scarf and a Choice Specs. So that would not be good. This is going to be able to do quite a bit of damage, knock him down by about, I don't know, about halfway. So they're going to go for a Dragon Pulse. That is definitely going to knock out. No, I was going to say if I don't know this thing is Choice Scarf. What am I saying? This thing is Mega Stoned. So I'm going to go into Voltagast, and this is where it comes down to it. It's one-on-one. Go for the Thunderbolt. That's going to actually make contact on Natsu, and it is going to faint, winning the battle now. As I say, had they gone to Charizard instead of Grey, that would have probably been a different outcome. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. I'll see you guys next time. Chris Feet signing out.